Hey, hockey fans, how's everybody doing? I hope everyone has had a good weekend. There was some good football on today. How about those 49ers beating Dallas? That was quite the game. And then a couple blowout games, but there was some good football. There was only one hockey game on. We didn't do a video for that one. It was the Vancouver-Washington game. Nice win for Vancouver, actually, on that trip that they're on. Lots of tough hockey for them. We did a video for Saturday. There were 13 games. We went 8-5 on the picks. Laid 14 wagers, only 6 of them paid. Some close games. We risked $32. We ended up down $5.40 for the day, so it wasn't terrible, but nothing exciting really. Now we're going to see if we can start the week off and maybe get some excitement going and get that $100 growing. Monday, January 17th, 2022. There were 9 games on the board, 1 postponed so far, and that is the New Jersey-Toronto game. A lot of division matchup games, so we'll get right at it and we'll make some picks and see what happens. Atlantic Division matchup first here, Detroit and Buffalo, 2 teams that just played. Buffalo 3-5-2 in their last 10 current 1-game losing streak. Aaron Dell listed to be in net for the Sabres. Detroit also 3-5-2 in their last 10 current 1-game winning streak. Alex Nedeljkovic listed to be in net for the Red Wings. Teams, like I said, they just played each other Saturday. It was a 4-0 win for Detroit. Tyler Bertuzzi, he opened things up in the first with a power play goal. He also notched a couple helpers. Lucas Raymond also found the twine in a helper. Robbie Fabry and Michael Rasmussen each with a goal. Dylan Larkin with 2 assists. Good group effort from the Red Wings. Nedeljkovic getting his first shutout at home for Detroit. And great with his grandparents in the stands, right? It was just a good way to go. They outplayed Buffalo. They fought. They won the battles. 2 for 5 on the power play, 62% on the puck drop battle. It was a good effort by Detroit. They're back at 500 now. And the question is can they follow that up? And a lot of guys are questioning that, especially with their road record. Their road record is a 4-11-3, which isn't that good. One of those rare wins on the road did come against Buffalo back on November 6th, when the Red Wings won that game 4-3 in overtime. There aren't too many series where the Red Wings are going to be able to sweep or at least have a chance to sweep, and here is one where they have a chance. They're up 3-0 in this 4-game series, and this will conclude things between these teams. 2 of those games were 1-goal games, and then that last one was a 4-0 game. Money line, Detroit 1.74 or minus 135, Buffalo plus 115 or 2.15, over under set at 5.5. I like the visiting team here, Detroit, to sweep that series and get the 4th win. A lot of games I find on this slate, the odds are pretty balanced, meaning Vegas doesn't know what to do, and it's a tough slate, so we'll see how we make out. Next one, we have a Central Division matchup. We have Minnesota against Colorado. I think this is going to be an exciting game. Colorado 8-1-1 in their last 10 current 2-game winning streak. Darcy Kemper listed to be in net. Minnesota has Kaapo Kähkönen listed to be in net. They're 5-4-1 with a current 3-game winning streak. Colorado now has jumped into first place in the division, coming off 2 games against the Arizona Coyotes. Friday, a 4-3 shootout victory, and then Saturday, a 5-0 blanking over the Coyotes. The Avalanche were just too strong. They outshot the Coyotes 32-30. They outhit them 25-16, 1 for 3 on the power play, and just too dominant of a force. Nathan McKinnon and Mike Rantanen both with a pair of goals. Nazem Kadri also found the twine. First shutout for Kemper with Colorado. Stopped all 20 shots. Now facing a team where his NHL career began. He's already played them once and did well, actually. Minnesota's in 4th place in the division with 46 points, 5 points behind the number 1 team, Colorado. Last action, a game against Anaheim when they won 7-3 final for the Wild. It was a fast-paced game, trading chances, 42 shots apiece. The Wild kept the Ducks at bay when they had only 1 power play opportunity in the entire game. 2 top teams here, and we could go up and down the roster on both teams. I mean, they both have an abundance of talent, and that's demonstrated when you look at the goals for category. Colorado sits first, Minnesota sits third. Kähkönen will likely get the nod with Talbot still shelved. And Capo's played well. I mean, I think he's won all 3 starts that he's had this calendar year. And this will be the second of 4 times that these teams meet. Teams met October 30th when Colorado won that game 4-1. And this is one where the odds are pretty lopsided. They have Minnesota as a monster dog here at 2.85. Colorado heavily favored at 1.44. Over-under set at 6.5. So they're looking for a lot of goals. I'm taking the visiting dog here to win the game on the money line. You could look at Minnesota. Might, if you want to play it safe, maybe go on the puck line plus 1.5. I didn't check the odds on that, but Minnesota definitely on the money line. I like them a lot. Next game, we have a Pacific Division matchup. We have the LA Kings against the San Jose Sharks. San Jose 5-4-1 in their last 10, current overtime decision. James Reimer could be back in net here. If not, obviously Aiden Hill will be in net for the Sharks. The LA Kings, Jonathan Quick could be in net here. If not, it's going to be Cal Peterson. They're 7-3-0 in their last 10, current 4-game winning streak. The Pacific Division is getting jammed up. San Jose in fourth now with 42 points. Able to get 1 point in that last game when it was a 2-1 overtime loss to Pittsburgh on Saturday. Sharks played a good game. Outshot the Penguins 41-27. Out-hit them 28-21. Had 4 chances with the man advantage, but just couldn't convert. Sharks seem to be beating teams that they should beat, like Buffalo and Arizona, but when they play tougher teams, they seem to be struggling. And here they're playing a team, the LA Kings, who are beating those good teams. LA now in second in the division with 45 points, 3 behind first place Vegas. Last played Saturday when they defeated the Seattle Kraken 3-1. Before that, 6-2 over Pittsburgh, 3-1 over the New York Rangers. They've outscored their opponents 16-4 in the last 4 games. LA is getting contributions from all parts of their team, which is one of the keys to success that they're having right now for sure. This is the beginning of a back-to-back here. They play Tampa on Tuesday. So they're going to want this game, and they're going to want it hard. Both teams missing some bodies, but fairly even, I think, when you look at it health-wise. Money line minus 115 for LA or 1.86, minus 105 or 1.95 for the home team San Jose Sharks. Over-under set at 5.5. I like LA to continue to roll, get number 5, and beat this Sharks team, and I think they should do that fairly easy. Next game, Montreal and Arizona. Arizona 3-5-2 in their last 10, current 1-game losing streak. Karl Vejmelka listed to be in net for the Coyotes. Montreal has Sam Montembeault listed to be in net. They're 1-7-2 in their last 10 with an overtime decision. And this really is a matchup between the two teams at the bottom of the league with the 2 worst goal differentials. Montreal at minus 55 and then Arizona at minus 61. Coyotes last place in the Central. They played back-to-back games against Colorado on the weekend. Friday, a 4-3 loss in a shootout. And then the next one was where they couldn't find the twine at all and they lost 5-0. Arizona has shown signs lately. January 6th of 6-4 win over Chicago. The most recent one, January 12th, an impressive 2-1 victory over the Toronto Maple Leafs. Karl Vejmelka, he's been up and down, but some strong goaltending. He just needs some more support. I think he'll give the Coyotes a chance here in this game like he does. Montreal, even more of a wreck than Arizona, comparatively speaking. Last place in the Atlantic, where Chicago, they were in Chicago for their last game Thursday, and that was a 3-2 overtime loss. Wasn't actually a bad game that they played. Still looking for their first win this calendar year. They haven't played much hockey. Josh Anderson, one of the bodies that they could have back. And I don't know if that's going to be enough against Arizona, right? Their last W was a month ago against Philly when they won 3-2 in a shootout victory. Both teams have a laundry list of bodies out, so we're not going to go through that. This is the first of 2 games between these 2 teams, and it's fairly balanced too. Money line minus 105 or 1.96 for the Canadians. Over-under set at 5.5, minus 115 or 1.86 for Arizona. I'm going to go to Arizona just because I've seen a little more signs of life out of that team. Some good goaltending and some good play. So I'm going to go to the home team here. Slightly favored, Arizona to win the game. That's my pick. Next one, number 5, Chicago against Seattle. Seattle 1-8-1, current 6-game losing streak. Philip Grubauer listed to be in net for the Kraken. Chicago has Marc-Andre Fleury listed to be between the pipes again. 4-3-3 in their last 10, current 4-game winning streak. Seattle had the LA Kings in town on Saturday. Final 3-1 for LA. odd game. Kraken's lone goal on the power play. All 3 goals allowed were 5-on-5 play. A defensive battle that Seattle lost, and now they have also lost Chris Drieger, placed on COVID protocol. Grubauer now in net. And again, I just don't want to keep beating up on Grubauer, but it's just not impressive. His numbers just don't get any better. He's lost his last 8 starts. He's let in 3 or more goals in the last 11 games that he's been in. 9 straight losses for Seattle here, and I don't see any signs of it turning around right now. Playing a Chicago team that's on a roll. Chicago, they continue to build on their longest winning streak of the season. Tied, I mean, they've had a 4-game winning streak earlier in the season. Now they're at a 4-game winning streak again. Number 5 would be the longest that they've had all season. Saturday was number 4 when it was a 3-0 win over Anaheim. Marc-Andre Fleury with his 70th career shutout, his 3rd of the season so far. Shots were balanced, 37-36 in favor of Anaheim. Hawks 1 for 3 with the man advantage. Patrick Kane finding the point again, his 2nd game in a row, which is nice to see. Hawks look good. Lucas Reichel made his NHL debut, and he played his role well. You know, I think he looked really good out there. I think he had a little over 14 minutes of ice time. And this is the second of 3-game series. November 17th, Chicago doubled up Seattle 4-2. Money line -110 or 1.9 for Chicago, -110 or 1.9 for Seattle. Over under set at 5.5. I like the over here, which is also -110 or 1.9. So I like Chicago to win the game, and I like it to go over. That's my pick. Number 6, next one, we have a Metropolitan Division matchup. We got the Philadelphia Flyers against the New York Islanders. The Islanders have Sorokin listed to be in net. They're 6-3-1 in their last 10, current 1-game losing streak. Philadelphia has Carter Hart listed to be in net. They're 2-5-3 in their last 10, current 2-game losing streak. New York sits last place in the division off a 2-0 loss to Washington on Saturday. And yeah, end result is end result, so it doesn't really matter, I guess. But I just felt like the Islanders lost that game more than Washington won that game, if that makes any sense. Just not a good enough effort by the Islanders. I mean, I just, yeah, 3rd period, maybe their best period, but yeah, the games that New York has in hand, I mean, they've got a ton of games that they need to make up, and they got to get W's when they play those games. There's no other way to look at it. And here, a division matchup, they have to win these games if they're going to have any chance. They need some of their main guys to step up, and they need a little bit of puck luck because they haven't had a ton of that. Philly comes into this game now on a 7-game losing skid, 5 points ahead of the Islanders, 6th in the division. They played another New York team, the Rangers, on Saturday when they lost that game 3-2. Their last 3 games have been 1-goal games. 3-2 loss to San Jose in overtime, 3-2 loss to Boston, and then the 3-2 loss to the Rangers. So they've been in the games and keeping them close. Cam York getting his first NHL career goal gave Philly the lead for just over 30 seconds in that last game. But again, they're just not closing games out and not hanging on to the lead. I mean, this will be the first game between teams. They play back-to-back here. They play Monday, and then they play Tuesday again. They meet 4 times this season. New York has found the W the last 7 times teams have faced each other. New York is much healthier, I think, right now compared to the Flyers. And I think we're going to see a different Islanders team than we saw against Washington. And then also, if you look at Sorokin's success history against the Flyers, it's solid as well. Money line plus 155 or 2.55 for Philly. Islanders favored -175 or 1.57. Over under set at 5.5. And I like the Islanders to win at home and get a W there. Number 7, a Central Division matchup. We have Nashville against St. Louis. Should be a great game. 7-3-0 St. Louis in their last 10, current 1-game losing streak. Jordan Binnington listed to be in net against Nashville. That has Saros listed to be in net, 6-2-2 in their last 10 with an overtime decision. The Preds and the Blues, 2 points apart in the division. Nashville in second, tied in points at 51 with Colorado. St. Louis in third, 2 points back at 49. St. Louis took on the Toronto Maple Leafs Saturday, a back-and-forth affair that ended in a 6-5 victory for Toronto. I feel like the Blues have done all right without some main pieces. And now against the Predators, they're going to have a much stronger lineup. It's like they got backup coming now. Tarasenko, Braden Shen, Colton Pireko, Logan Brown. They should all be back in the lineup for the Blues here. So stronger Blues team than we've seen, and they've been strong without those guys. Nashville has lost 2 in a row now. Thursday, a 4-1 loss to Buffalo, and Saturday, a close 4-3 loss to Boston in overtime. It was a heavy-hitting game, 91 registered hits between teams, 46-45 in favor of Nashville. Preds 0 for 2 on the power play and gave one up when down a man. Nashville battled back and tied the game twice after being down 2-0. They brought it back to 2-2 and then down 3-2, and again fought back on a goal from Roman Josi and fought back, tied it up to get a point, but couldn't get the win. Nashville has won the last 5 straight meetings between these two teams. Forsberg could also be back and produce, if he has to produce a couple negative tests, and then he could be back for this game. They're going to need him back in this game, especially with the guys that St. Louis has coming back. If Nashville wants to be in this game, Forsberg would be a nice added addition to them. Money line, plus 100 or 2 for Nashville, minus 120 or 1.83 for the Blues. Over under set at 6. I like the home team, St. Louis, to win that game. Next one, Pittsburgh against Vegas. Vegas 5-3-2 in their last 10. Current overtime decision, Robin Lehner listed to be in net. Pittsburgh, Tristan Jarry listed to be in net. They're 8-2-0 in their last 10. Current 1-game winning streak. Vegas first place at the Pacific with 48 points. Vegas last place Tuesday when they lost 4-3 in a shootout against Toronto. Going into the third, Vegas was down 3-1. Knights battled 2 goals in the frame to push to extra time, and then a goal from Nylander for Toronto ended it. Still a good battle to get a point. Vegas outshot the Leafs 34-18. They were 2 for 5 on the power play. Wasn't a bad effort at all. Pittsburgh, they played on the weekend a game against San Jose, season debut for the goalie Louis Domingue, who gets the W, a 2-1 overtime final for the Penguins. Both Jason Zucker and Brian Rust will likely be back in the lineup for Pittsburgh here, which is good news. I mean, hopefully Rust can continue right where he left off, right? I think he had 12 points in the last 4 games that he did play. So Pittsburgh's going to look to have him back and enjoy having him back. There's no question. This is a first of 2 games between these two. I think goaltending edge, you got to go to Pittsburgh here. I've mentioned it before in other videos. I think it's a problem that Vegas has, and nothing against Robin Lehner. I like Robin Lehner a lot, but I think that their goaltending is weak, and I think it's going to prove to be weak for a while here. Health-wise, I think Pittsburgh's a little healthier than Vegas as well. Moneyline has this game fairly even, minus 115 or 1.86 for the Penguins, minus 105 or 1.95 for Vegas, over under set at 6. And I like the visiting team. I like Pittsburgh to get the win there. What I'm going to do for wagers, I'm going to go my best bet. I'm going to make it the Islanders. I'm going to go $5 there. And then I'm going to go 3 parlays. I'm going to go the LA Kings and St. Louis together. I'm going to go Chicago and the Islanders together. And then I'm going to go Detroit and Pittsburgh together. There's some early hockey. That Detroit game, I think, is an 11 a.m. start. And then there's, I think, a 1 and a 2 p.m. game. Some afternoon hockey all throughout the day. And then obviously we got the 1 football game later on as well. I'm going to do 1 over. I'm going to go Chicago and Seattle over 5.5. And I'll go 2 there. On the parlays, I'll go 2, 2, and 2 on all 3 of those. So altogether, we're going to be risking $25, and we'll see what happens there. Regular picks, Pittsburgh to beat Vegas, St. Louis to beat Nashville, Islanders to beat Philly, Chicago to beat Seattle, Arizona to beat Montreal, LA to beat San Jose, Minnesota to beat Colorado, and Detroit to beat Buffalo. Hope everyone has a great start to the week. If you can, enjoy some hockey. Good luck with your picks. Thanks for watching.